Hey, Black women, good afternoon. Um, I wanted to come and talk to you guys today about the mother daughter relationship because I've seen like two or three content creators talking about this now. And I know I talked about this a couple of months ago when I was having some issues with one of my daughters, and I found out that the reception to my video was not taken, and I do understand why. It's because unfortunately, in the black community or I should say, black sector of YouTube, the women primarily don't respect dark skinned older women or dark skinned creators, period, unless they are the token black women outside of the light skinned women, biracial, and white that they decide that they want to actually give any type of respect to and listening to. So as I'm noticing that Black YouTube for the women creators who are here actually trying to really care about Black women in the sense of like me worrying about their future, worrying about their welfare every day, and the fact that they learn to grow bigger than the person they are now so that their life just keeps getting better. Well, we get ignored, and we don't get any traffic to our channels the way these big channels do, and we're basically thrown to the side because we're not often giving you theatrics and just bullshitting you and con artisting you with a little bit of truth sprinkled in with a whole lot of bullshit. So when I was watching Tanya TKO's channel today, she did a little bit of her live on parents are people too. Now, it's funny, and it's also a very fucking bad thing, that when a small content creator like myself talks in depth about mother-daughter relationship, because I'm living it from both sides. I was the little black girl who was quite abused by a very unaffectionate, unattending, non-existent mom who was addicted to narcotic and drank a lot, right? For a long period of her life until she got her shit together. And then me being the mother who was in fact very affectionate to all my children, but especially my daughters, because I knew how it felt to be mistreated as a little black girl, and being a dark little black girl coming from a very light black mother. I understood all that dynamic of colorism, texturism, featureism, etc. Especially being the oldest little black girl of other sisters who were lighter, with funnier color eyes and curlier hair, right? So there's that. So when I was talking in reference to the same concept Tanya was talking about, but I didn't specifically say it like she did. Parents are people too. I got a lot of flack about, oh, who the fuck are you to try to, and I mean literally verbatim, right? I removed the comments, but this is what I got. Who the fuck are you to try to tell people how to get along with their mothers when the mothers were toxic? Now, it is really disgusting how so many black women who subscribe on YouTube always want to be in a fucking fantasy or be addressed by people who placate them and who perform for them. And it seems like all of the people you like, the big people that you've made big that you like, they all deceive you at all times and give you a small amount of truth. And then the small content creators like myself and others who are vanishing before your eyes. But you don't care about that, because if we're not the women that you pledge your allegiance to and you pledge your undying loyalty to, we don't matter. And it's crazy because the reason she had to do that video is because even though she's a con artist, she wants to keep her hustle alive so that she could have some money to take care of herself. So what she's noticing is the same thing I'm noticing, is that the black women and the black women's movement for empowerment, real empowerment, not that bullshit where people are playing games with you on here, right? But for black women to become educated, to become independent, for them to burn the cape about worshiping and overly identifying with black males, and to get to the point where they understand that their life is more important than any guy they get involved with, and that their children are more important than any man they have them by or they want to be with. So as we see, because it is happening, you have the young women who are here promoting the child-free life, which is beautiful. But we also see the deterioration of black women and this movement and our presence online being consumed by the overwhelming negative habits and beliefs that are poured heavily into black women YouTube by people like Real Talk with Yanni and etc., where it's all this division, and even RSW hashtag exposed, Matrix exposed, where she's calling herself what I forget. Even her, like too many of these people, they pour in a lot of anti-older women, trying to paint every one of us with the same brush as if we're all negative, we're all horrible, and the best thing you should do is get away from these people, have no contact, I did a video on that too. And basically, I was trying to tell you the same thing Tanya was saying today that got so much more of a response, a positive response, that it just shows how you don't see it because you don't want to, because you don't never want to listen to anybody outside of the people you care about. But Naya, go get your toy. Go get it. But what is happening is that you guys are going to like create a vacuum on black YouTube, which you're doing now. And all you're going to have here are the con artists and the people who really don't care about black women, but they're pretending because they need you to stay here so they can live their lives. Like Princella. Like, I don't know what she thinks is going to happen. Like, you could use Cynthia G as an example of the fact that there is a ceiling, a glass ceiling to this YouTube shit. You're not a man. So no, you're never going to be a DJ Academic or any of the men that come off of YouTube and make it big, because they don't allow black women to do that. So all of this hoodwinking, gaslighting, and all of these theatrics and performative shit these women do on here to keep people hooked and make their platforms explode, hoping that they're going to get some, I guess, I don't know what, talk show on The View or whatever it is they want. They're not going to get it. The most they're going to get is the same fucking thing that happened to Cynthia G. Because you need to have it click in your head. America and society on the whole never wants any black person, positive 100%, trying to make black women stand up and do what is in her best interest, because when she does that, she's taking away the benefit from all the people that reap rewards off of her back. So when Tanya was doing this today, I was just looking at the chat, and I was looking at the people, and I was looking at how, because they like her, not because the information that they're listening to may be beneficial to them or not, they just eat up everything she's saying, right? But then when you have small people like me and others who have done this months, even a year ago or 2 years ago, no one listens. And I was going to do a video, but I changed my mind, about every one of the very positive black women, small content creators who packed their shit up and was like, fuck it. Nobody cares about what I'm saying. They don't give a fuck about what I'm trying to tell them, because I'm not talking about black males. I'm not trying to trauma bond with you. I'm not trying to play into your emotions. You don't give a fuck. So they're leaving. And I've been saying this for a very long time. And we all have our exit dates. But I'm telling you, black women, it's so real, it's not funny, that fucking Joni Mitchell, I know you don't know who that is, she made a song about this type of shit. Is that people, and I'm specifically talking to black women now, You never appreciate anything until that shit is gone. And you've already had that happen on here, and you still have not learned your lesson. When, what's her name? The woman with the Just Stop. Anything? What is her name? Chris. Y'all know who I'm talking about. St. Charles. Kendall St. Charles, right? She was a very positive woman on YouTube trying to get black women's heads straight and get them to understand that your life, your goals, your focus is the main primary thing in your life. Nothing else. Not marriage, not boyfriends, not relationships, not worrying about dudes, not anything, worrying about other people, competing. You need to be your star player in your life and focus on that and that only. She got ran off of here. She got terrorized. She got threatened. She got all this stuff. And I know you're not paying attention because it's happening right in front of you and you're not doing anything about it. So now you have a lot more people trickling off of YouTube because they see what you're doing. You only want to talk about black men and what they're doing with other women, why you shouldn't be in relationships with them. And when it's real issues that need to be addressed, like black femicide, child homicide, domestic violence, you don't want to deal with that. Scary, depressing, and as it is a fucking reality that will grip you if you continue listening to fairy tale shit on YouTube. But I should stop saying these things and trying to warn you guys because you don't listen. So what eventually is going to happen is you're going to wake up one day the same way you woke up and you saw that Cynthia was taken off of here or whatever happened to her. There are going to be no black women like me and others to tell you about programs, try to talk to you about different things in life that are beneficial, information in life that you should be aware of and how it affects you. We're all going to be gone. And all you're going to be left with is the black males on here trying to convince you that you need to be their personal servant, pay half their bills, and come live with them and be abused and beat half to death and eventually killed. Have as many children for them as you can just to keep them well cared for and to be in control and have a manipulation tactic on you the rest of your life. And then you have the women here, the very few black women who will be left, who will be reinforcing all of the wrong, very toxic messages that these black males are giving. That's your future very soon, because I don't understand why it's so hard to realize that if you just go make all the other women content creators just as big as the women that you like only, you will have more of a complete venue of black women, information, topics, etc., to enrich your life beyond your wildest dreams. But when you show black women who come on YouTube looking to try to make money the same way you boost up these people who you only like, the few of them that you like, into superstars, it makes and gives pause to all the other women that want to come and have a better subject topic and content to give you that would probably enrich your life a whole lot better than what you're hearing from Princella, Tanya TKO, Shira, and etc. But, you know, it really saddens me that I never wanted to be the type of person to say, like, you know, black women are their own worst enemy. They could never just understand that you need to put the silly shit to the side about black women and understand that we need to support each other only. Don't worry about Hispanic women, Asian women, white women, biracial women with white mothers. They're not black. Stick to your own people and promote and support them so that you have, once again, political power in this country so that your life changes. The more that you keep these habits of, oh, I'm going to only support this lady right here because I like her and fuck all the rest of them, you continue to let the rest of society downgrade us and treat us as if we don't deserve the same as everyone else. Where if you would show them we stick together the same way we did with the Black Girl Follow chain on train on TikTok, you would show them it benefits them to put their money behind us because we control our own money and we look after each other. But when you don't do that, you continue to widen all the disparities in this world and in this society we live in that literally hurts us in every way, economically and personally. Just like what Tanya was talking about when she said parents are people too. Every relationship you have with a person does not mean they're going to react the way you feel they should react. And they're not going to give you everything you need the way you feel you need it, because that person is not you. And you have to communicate in a way where you communicate what your needs are, but you have to be completely ready to accept that this person might not be able to give you everything you require in return. And then you have to learn to make a choice to decide, is this something I can accept for this person, from this person, in them not being able to give me everything I want, or this person giving me more than what I need? You have to get to the point where you understand the difference, are able to regulate all of those emotions, and understand that people do not live to satisfy you. They have their own issues in their own life, and the best a person can do, parent or not, is to communicate clearly with you. And then you get to work out the attachment issues, the abandonment issues, the low self-esteem issues, the wounded inner child issues. That's all you can do. But when you sit on this YouTube sector or section of black women, where the majority of the young women are telling you to just discount and write off your moms and everything else in life, and all black mothers are horrible, and everything concerning black women is bad the same way the black males do, you're going to lose in the long run. You're going to seriously lose, because it's those matriarchal women that have gotten everyone to where they are now, including those useless black males. And when you start throwing them away and acting like they're not important just because you got a little bit of youth today, you're going to quickly realize, without the proper guidance, parental guidance of those people that have wisdom that you don't respect right now, you're going to see life is going to be very, very difficult for you. Very. And you're also going to see that all of the rest of the people that were on here trying to help you, like myself and others, we will no longer be here. And you know what else is going to happen? Most people like me and others, they're going to take down all of their videos, because the reason I tell you to big up all the black women's channels as well as the ones you've made into superstars is because we don't get paid. We don't get paid to come on here and put our videos up that we put out to help you. So in turn, when we go, because we're not shown any appreciation, right? We take the videos down because YouTube makes money off of us, whether we make money or not. And it is not a fair exchange. And it is also an insult to the injury that we're receiving when we come on here and literally pour our heart and soul into the messages we give you. Whether we angry, tight, screaming, yelling, putting it out there, because it's the emotion, the passion that we have for us who want you to get it right. And then you just slap our face and tell us, fuck you, we don't care about anything you put out. We're only concerned about these 2 or 3 women over here who are seriously misleading you. But because you're so, mesmerized by the bullshit they're giving you at the moment, you can't see that you're losing. But you know what? What I've learned in life is that sometimes you got to let people bump and fall and bust their ass in order for them to learn anything. And then when they learn something, you still got to leave them alone, because you know the lesson you're teaching them after they learn the initial lesson is that when a person is trying to help you and they are doing everything they can to try to get your attention and you keep ignoring them, when you want their attention, they're going to ignore you. That's what's going to happen. And I am so desperately trying to get y'all to understand that, because me and many other older women, content creators who are out here giving real shit to y'all, trying to tell y'all that it's really not about a lot of this shit these people you guys have blown up into superstars are talking about. It's really about you and your journey in life and the goal you set for you and us trying to help you get there. You don't give a shit about that. And so there's going to come that day where you turn on YouTube and I know you're going to be like, who gives a fuck? I don't care. I never liked you in there anyway. I get it. But believe me and all the others who have been giving you incredible amounts of information, you're going to be left with all of the fucking knuckleheads on here that you idolize, who give you nothing but empty information and receive all your money and give you nothing in return. That's all you're going to have, coupled with all the messages that reinforce all the dysfunctional behavior and the struggle lives awaiting you that these black guys are trying to condition you into. That is your future. And it's just so simple. Just discard all of that stuff you have in your head about black women, any other type of black women, and learn to immediately, because it's a decision you make. It's nothing hard. You just immediately start thinking that I'm going to start being united and have a level of solidarity with all of the black women that are doing positive things on YouTube. If these women are on here trying to teach me something to better my life, and they're not just promoting and talking constantly about relationships and my relation to men, I'm going to leave them alone. But you need to start gravitating towards the women that are talking about domestic violence, black femicide, child homicide, and how to deal with that, get out of that, and bring it to your attention, and to further expose that to society so that it can get to the point that it can be challenged and defeated by society and government the way Rosa was trying to do initially. Those are the things you should be doing on YouTube and making those things paramount and larger than life. Not championing Priscilla, Tanya, Shira, and etc. People who are basically talking about nothing all day, but regurgitated things they've overheard from other content creators online, and things that they know from the past you have responded to favorably. You know, it's sad, right? Because when I think about the audience or the subscribers of Black YouTube, I think about my own kids, right? And I think about how I have one daughter who never listens to anything I tell her, and how her life right now is completely spiraling out of control. And although she's grabbing for stuff that she cannot reach, if she would just listen to what I'm telling her, everything would change. And if she would stop listening to the man she's living with and who had fathered those children from her, she would be that much better off. But she's not going to listen. So the only thing I could do is sit back and watch her self-destruct, because she doesn't listen. And there comes a point, the same way I'm telling you, that everyone will give up on you because you are not trying to accept the attention someone's trying to give you, or you're not trying to listen to the information and the love and concern creators are trying to pour into you. But you're running to every charlatan within arm's reach of the keyboard to listen to the same silly message day after day by these same women, doing nothing but giving you a dopamine hit for the day, but not really doing anything to boost you towards obtaining your final goal, your primary goal, which is to be your best self. So, I mean, I felt I had to say that, get that off my chest, because after a while, I'm going to be like everybody else too. And I feel it coming sooner than later, that I'm going to get tired of trying to compete for your attention and for your understanding and support when I am literally coming on here for you and you alone. I don't get one dime from YouTube. And I couldn't anyway because I don't have enough subscribers on this second channel to even get them. Even though I'm not asking you to do that, but it's all these things I pay attention to. Because if I would come on here with all types of drama and plan theatrics for you, where I'm talking nonsense about men and I'm entertaining you to the point where I'm not helping you in any way, I probably would be, I would never be blown up because I'm too dark and I'm too old. So it's almost pointless at this point to even care about black women at all, because when I look at how y'all move in life, like I look how you guys do online, right? You only gravitate to like maybe 4 or 5 content creators out of all the hundreds of women that are on here. And how you're so nasty and you practice colorism, ageism, texturism, featureism. You pour that over into real life, or this imitates real life. Because I think about how at work I watch how the women move there too, and I look at them and I shake my head, because it's like they so competitive and evil and wicked and stupid based off of superficial dumb shit, like how somebody looks, and always worrying about them trying to compare themselves to someone else, and always worrying about if this woman or that woman has more of a gaze of a man's eye than they do. When in my mind, I'm like, you should be like me. Who gives a fuck about whether they like you or not? I live in this world for me. I don't give a fuck about none of these dudes, and I care a lot about other black women. But it seems like in real life, as it is online, I'm wasting my time, because they don't want to give nothing back but hate. And so it gets to the point where I begin to feel like Rosa too, like, why the fuck should I care about them dying by black femicide and their children being killed and them being the number one people being assaulted and affected by domestic violence, when they don't give a fuck about themselves? It makes you begin to feel like that. It really does. And the fact that, unfortunately, my women, more so than any other women in the world, are so brainwashed into hating other women that look just like them and always worshiping men, gets to the point where it makes me truly understand that day I keep telling you about, keep warning you about, where you're going to wake up and it's only going to be Tanya's on here, only going to be Shira's on here, only going to be the Queen Maker Princella's on here, and the dudes that come with them are the only times I guess you guys are going to wake up. Man, you probably won't even fucking care. But when black women in society, because of what you're taking in, what you're consuming, and what you're becoming, our lifestyles and our condition in society gets worse and worse, then and probably only then will you realize that those of us that are already gone, we're trying to fucking warn you about this. Because it is so real, it's so crazy. It really is. It's sad, but it is what it is. So she was right when she was talking about parents are people too. But nobody can make you change and work on your own self-efficacy but you. I think after this summer, I'm going to be done. If things don't change, like on my channel, which I know they won't, I'm just going to go, because it doesn't make sense me pouring my heart and soul into trying to reach black women that don't want to be reached. If you want struggle love, you want to keep fighting about dudes that are not productive, do not really care about you, but you think they do, who am I to try to stop you? Seriously. And it's not going to be anybody, including me, that's going to convince you otherwise until you are really ready to recognize the truth and the reality in things that we're trying to tell you. So all I can say is more power to Tanya, Princella, Shira, and everybody else that gets all the attention on YouTube and has the most performative channels known to this sector. Shout out to them and shout out to y'all. But as long as I'm sitting here talking to you on this video, you're going to come to the day where you're going to only appreciate what you had when it is completely gone. And then at that point, it is what it is, because once it's gone, it ain't coming back. So that's on y'all. And y'all can stop all of this by simply mentally changing tonight. It's not that hard. Good night.